I'm Julian D. Miller. I'm the founding executive director of the Reuben V. Center for Justice, located on the campus of historic Tougaloo College in Tougaloo, Mississippi.
I'm Lauren Long. I'm the policy director for the Reuben V. Anderson Center for Justice on the College of Tougaloo in Jackson, Mississippi.
I'm Roger Woods. I'm the program director for the Tougaloo Agri Growth Initiative program, and it is on the Tougaloo College campus in Tougaloo, Mississippi.
Well, the mission of the Reuben V. Anderson Center for Justice is to essentially work with individuals and grassroots organizations throughout the state to address systemic issues in four areas: economic justice, public health equity, criminal justice equity, and educational equity. And the goal is not to reinvent the wheel, but to, again, build synergy between organizations to develop systemic community development, grassroots projects to leverage into systemic policy to address these four areas and ultimately improve the lives of Mississippians, low-income Mississippians, in particular people of color in the state of Mississippi.
I would say it's the commonalities, definitely, amongst the citizens and residents. It's the drive. Everyone has an ambition to address these issues, and not everyone knows how to do them, which is why the Reuben V. Anderson Center for Justice serves as a liaison between the community members, students, where we all collectively work together to address these disparities and systematic issues. I would also say it's the pain. A lot of us experience the same situations. I was a low income parent, single parent, low income, and so we relate to each other a lot. And I think that allows our community members to open up to us more. And so storytelling is a big component of policy making. And so the more community members that we have to actively participate in our policy initiatives, the better that we're able to develop, I'll say, realistic policy recommendations.
And I would say also too, I think that we're able as an organization, and what I think makes us unique is that we bridge the gap between community organizations and individuals who are impacted communities, as well as institutions, to be able to leverage resources to address their problems in a substantive way. As I said, we're separate nonprofit organization, but we are partnered with Tougaloo College as well as other institutions of higher learning throughout the state to do this work and to help leverage those academic institutions working in concert with community organizations to actually address policy that is ultimately determined by the people most impacted by it. And we help, really to bring sanity, facilitate that in a very, very powerful way. And I think we've been effective in that regard.
I'm extremely excited to see the growth and the trajectory that we have. Having early child care centers to be interactive with college campuses long before they even get to attend, and understanding that food is more than just something that you eat. It's a medicine. It's a way of life. It's a way of bonding and connecting and sharing their story. So curriculum centered around having those children to follow them from the early child care stages all the way through grade school into the collegiate level, so that once they get there, it's not a pulling teeth type of ordeal. It's embedded in them. It's a part of their life. It's kind of who they are, and that's what gives me true passion about this work, because that was me. I just did not have the resources to be able to do what I do now as a collegiate student. So I look forward to being able to grow this program and having it all over the state, all over the country.
I would say I think that we are on the already in just we're a very young organization. We'll be 3 years old in September, and I think what we've been able to accomplish to this point, I think will once the history of this organization is written, we would have really made really effective systemic policy change that not only will be transformed for the state of Mississippi, but also be a model for other rural areas. With our food system economic justice project, which connected us with Elevate Initiative, we're developing a model for building worker-owned food system that we're building at Tougaloo College, but that can be replicated throughout the state as a way to capture a $6 billion food market in the state for communities, poor, low-income communities of color, to actually benefit from their collective labor, and to not only live lives, but to be able to live lives of dignity. We've just completed a policy white paper around implementing a state earned income tax credit, utilizing temporary assistance for needy families funds, and we're going to do a pilot for that with Department of Human Services to provide financial support for low-wage workers who are transitioning from TANF to low-wage work. 75% of them are Black people in Mississippi. We're doing work around reentry services and trying to build coalitions to provide universal reentry services in our state. We're doing work around food as medicine to try to get like Medicaid to support prescriptions for local food as a means of addressing chronic illnesses. So we've been able to effectively, again, bring together institutions, governmental entities, impacted communities, organizations, and academic institutions to sort of to develop this systemic policy. And I believe that with this trajectory, with our strategy, we will not only make a transformation change in the state of Mississippi, but it'll be able to be something to be replicated in other areas in the region. Well, Reuben Anderson is, and again, unless you're from Mississippi, you would know him. But Reuben Anderson was a prodigious civil rights litigator. He was the first African American to graduate from the University of Mississippi School of Law in 1967, and at the time it was integrated. And after that, he became a prodigious civil rights lawyer who literally worked with NAACP Legal Defense Fund to integrate almost every school in the state of Mississippi in the late 60s, early 70s. And he was an alumnus of Tougaloo College and HBCU. And so from there, he became the first African American circuit court, county court judge, Mississippi Supreme Court justice, and president of the Mississippi Bar. And so he was someone who was committed to transforming Mississippi. He was a dedicated philanthropist to Tougaloo College. I mean, I could take up another hour naming everything he's done. The gist of it, though, was he wanted to basically take his legacy to the next level, to sort of leverage that to be able to transform Mississippi. He was well aware of all of the organizations, all the entities that have committed to working in Mississippi and addressing these issues, but he wanted to figure out, well, how do we kind of bring it all together and really, really move Mississippi forward? And so I worked with his daughter, Raina Anderson, who's phenomenal, who's our co-founder, and we decided let's start this organization, the Reuben V Center for Justice, modeled after the MacArthur Justice Center model, to partner with institutions to do this systemic work. And we wouldn't reinvent any wheels. We would not start anything new. We would figure out what's going well, what organizations are doing it, what impact communities are doing it, and help leverage the resource at Tougaloo. We also work with Mississippi College Law School, Ole Miss Law, to actually make systemic change in that regard. And we've put this model together, and we're taking it one step, one institution at a time, one community at a time.